Hey, what's happening everybody? Rod J back again to take a look at another beer. Thanks for swinging by to check out another video. I'm going to take a look at one more from Adelbert's Brewery. So this will be number 5 out of the 6 that they had sent to me. This is the Philosophizer. Thanks again, Sarah, for sending some up to review. This is a handcrafted Belgian style Saison right there on the label. You can see that. Sip and ponder. So an ale brewed with spices, bottle conditioned, handcrafted Belgian style Saison. On the side we have the information as usual on all their labels, which are a nice looking label if I do say so. Serve at 45 to 55 degrees. Proper glass is the Tulip. Batch number 38, bottled on 5/28/16. And with all their beers that are their regular beers, they always have the story about the ale and something about the story from Dell, who is the one picture there and the founder of the brewery. So let's take a look at this one. This one actually has won the 2013 Craft Beer Awards Gold Medal. Also a Gold Medal Saison from Best of Craft Beer Awards. 2014 Silver Medal from Best Little Brew Fest in Texas. Bronze Medal from 2016 Commonwealth Cup. The ale, this smooth ale tastes citrusy with yeasty notes and a hint of peppery spice. Its dry finish and mild carbonation make it perfect for pairing with grilled chicken, rice fish dishes, and cheeses like Camembert and Brie. And the story on this one, Philosophizer was a common term used to describe Dell. He often came up with the perfect solution to a complex problem while drinking a beer and watching the sunset. That sounds pretty good, can't argue with that. Don't be surprised when you enter into deep philosophical debates after opening a Philosophizer. Just pop one open, pour, sip, and ponder. So that is the story rundown on this one. Let's go ahead and get this baby open and get it into a glass and see what it has to offer. Now, recently, I just had their other one that actually did use this beer, and it was one that was, I'm trying to think of the name, it was actually Waterloo, let's see, pull that name here, Contemplating Waterloo, and on that one, the Philosophizer was actually put into gin barrels, had a really nice overall taste, really got a lot of the gin, so this is just the beer in itself, but you take a look at it, came out with a finger of head, which is actually dissipated down now to close to maybe half a finger. Nice, pretty much, I would say just off whitehead, but it's not going to hold very long. As you can see, it kind of breaking down. I'm not sure if it's going to leave much lacing behind. The beer itself, nice golden orange color, as you can see there as well. Still cannot see all the way through it. Now this is, as I mentioned, fermented in the bottle. Not seeing too much of anything happening yet. On the couple of the previous bottles, I did catch a few things there. But I'll get this up here to the camera and see if you can see some of the carbonation. If it zooms in, I do pick up some of the lively carbonation actually taking place from the angle that I'm looking at. Not coming through as good there, but when you get into the light, it does drop it down a little bit more toward a kind of sunset type yellow color, and still have the haziness, but you can see a little bit more of the carbonation as far as the aroma on this one. So like most Saisons, you do get that same type of whiff coming out. You get the very yeasty notes. I do get that citrus action, almost like a little bit of an orange or tangerine type flavor. And of course you get that spice kick, and it makes note of that peppery spice. You are picking that up as well in the aroma. And on the back end, it almost has a little bit of what I would consider to be a breadiness too. So a decent smelling beer overall as far as the taste. Whoa. Okay. Now one thing I'll say, this baby is loaded up on carbonation. So a little bit more lively than I would like to see on this one. Like I said, this one is actually sat out for a little bit. It was just big, powerful explosion of carbonation on that initial burst. I'm going to try it again here, see if it calms down a little bit. Now, it's still pretty active. It's active on the initial, and then on the swallow, you do get that scrape going down. So it's pretty active on the back end as well. It does open up with the mouthfeel of the flavors. So you are picking up some of those Saison type notes. I am getting some of that in the taste of kind of the yeastiness in there. Almost like a little bit of I'm going to say some of that breadiness. And as far as spice, you do get a little bit of a spice kick, but it doesn't seem overly spiced. But that initial really does sting the tongue a little bit. And IBU on this one is listed as 36 as well. But that back end, when you do swallow, you will feel that scrape on the back end. So carbonation very much ramped up here. Body of this one pretty much sitting as a kind of a medium to full body. The texture, it does have a good dry texture on it. And as far as anything else with it, you do feel a little bit of that weight on the tongue. The alcohol, you're tasting a little bit as that goes down. It's not one you're going to probably try to rush through, but it does feel a little bit of that. You do get a little bit of that burn in there. This is definitely not one that I would say for someone that's getting into craft beer, they're going to be ready to actually probably enjoy. It's kind of one of the ones you've already worked up into, and you got a palate already set up to really enjoy craft beer. I think an early person getting into craft beer, this may be too overpowering for them. But for someone that does like saisons and has had a lot of experience with them, I think this one actually can be suited to enjoy. But I just wish that carbonation was actually taken down just a tad. It's not really getting up into the cheeks as much, but it does get off the tongue nicely. It does get some of the taste buds actually going. The difference between this and the other one, Contemplative Waterloo, is really actually kind of big. I mean, those gin barrels really added something to it. This one has a little bit more of a sting on it for whatever reason it seems, and not totally sure why that may be, but the Contemplative Waterloo version is one that I would definitely prefer to this one. That one I could probably drink like any time. This one, I can drink this one and go through it, but it's not going to be one I'm going to probably drink over again. It's just a little bit, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of carbonation, so that carbonation is really throwing me off a little bit. But it's got a little bit of a pop to it. I would definitely say, check it out if you are a fan of some of the saisons. And like I said, I'm a huge Belgian fan, so a Belgian saison, definitely want to check that out. Outside of that, it's an okay beer. I think with some of the pairing options, the grilled chicken, the fish, some of the cheeses, I think like a brie, I think that would actually match up nicely with this for sure, as well as like the fish and the chicken as mentioned. So, maybe I'll try some cheese or something. I got some downstairs and see how that actually works together. But if you get a chance, check it out. Like I said, I'm appreciative of Adelbert's Brewery for shooting this up to me. And again, this is the Philosophizer. And so after this one, I will have one left. And that final one is like the Big Daddy I'm actually going to be sending. And I'm going to be drinking rather, not sending. I'm not sending anywhere but to my belly. I think the last one is actually the Flying Monks that I have downstairs. So it's actually 10.9 ABV. And that's going to be a quadruple ale. So make sure you check that video out too once that is completed. But yeah, thanks for swinging by. Check out another one. One more time, Philosophizer, Adelbert's Brewery. I appreciate you taking some time to check out another review. I look forward to catching the next one. As always, keep drinking good craft beers and cheers.